Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on eplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 7 and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter probability, and the lessons we're going to cover from the chapter are factorials, permutations, counting principle, and combinations and permutation notation. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 7 math. Let's just start with the chapter factorials. Okay, so let's just start with the first example. Evaluate 2 factorial. So first thing you need to understand is what is factorial, right? So a whole number followed by an exclamation point is called a factorial, right? You are given with a whole number and right after the whole number you have an exclamation mark, that is the factorial, right? So to evaluate a factorial, you have to multiply the whole numbers between 1 and the given number, right? You have to multiply all the factorials between 1 and the given number, right? For example, here you are given 2 factorial. You have to multiply 1 times 2, right? Because 1 until the given number you have just 1 time 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. You got it? The next one is you have 3 factorial. So you have to evaluate, you have to multiply all the whole numbers between 1 and the given number. So between 1 and 3 you have the given numbers are 1, 2 and 3. You need to multiply them also. 1 times 2 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6. So 3 factorial equals 6. The next one is 4 factorial. So 4 factorial is 1 times, 2 times, 3 times 4, right? You have to multiply all the numbers between 1 and 4. They are 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, the first 4 factorial. So which is the correct option? How do we evaluate 4 factorial? You have to evaluate 1 until you have to multiply all the numbers between 1 and 4, right? Because the factorial is you have to evaluate all the numbers between 1 and 4. So 1 times, 2 times, 3 times 4 it is, right? So 4 times 2 is 8. Sorry, 4 times 3 is 12 and 12 times 2 is 24. Basically, you need to do 1 times, 2 times, 3 times 4. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24. So 4 factorial equals 24. Got it? The correct option is 24 it is. The next one is 3 factorial. So which is the correct option? 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. So 3 times 2 times 1 is 3 times 2 is 6, right? So the correct option is 6. Got it? Okay, the next example is 2 factorial. So 2 factorial is, yes, the correct option is 2 times 1 is 2. The correct option is 2, right? Okay, the next one is 5 factorial. So how do we evaluate 5 factorial? We have to do 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5, right? 3 times 2 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24, and 24 times 5 is 5 times 2 is 10, and 2 12, that is 120. The correct option is 120, right? Okay, the next one is 4 factorial. So which is the correct option? 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So which is the correct option? Yes, that's 24. The correct option is 24. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times 2 is 24. The next one is 5 factorial. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 120, right? Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. The next one is 2 factorial. So which is the correct option? Yes, 2 factorial is 2. The correct option is 2. The next one is 4 factorial. So which is the correct option? The correct option is, yes, that's option number 124 it is. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to the next lesson, and the next lesson is The next one is permutations. Let's just start with the next lesson, that is permutations. Okay, let's just start with the first example. Every summer in Lanbury, the city puts a big display of fireworks. For this year's event, the grand finale will use white, yellow, and orange fireworks. In how many different orders can the different colors of fireworks appear in the grand finale, right? So you are given white, yellow, and orange fireworks, right? Three colors you are given. You have to find how many different orders fireworks can appear, right? So basically, you need to calculate the total or different orders. You have to calculate 3 factorial. 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. 3 times 2 is 6. That means the three different colors can appear in 6 different orders, right? So basically, when you have to calculate the orders, you have to simply calculate the factorial, right? So let's just start with the practice questions. Becky, a ballroom dance instructor, is teaching 5 new types of dances to her class. In how many different orders could the dances be taught? So you have to create five. You are given 5 types of, like, they teach 5 times of different dances. You have to calculate the order. So simply you have to calculate. You have to calculate 5 factorial, right? You have to evaluate 5 factorial. So 5 factorial is, you have to do 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times 1, right? Like the same way we calculated the exactly the same thing. That is 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times 1. That is 120. So the correct option is 120. Option number 2 is the correct option. Trisha likes to read the Sunday paper while eating brunch. If the sections she read an editorial opinion, style, sports, and movie reviews, in how many different orders can she read them, right? So she can read the total 4 sections. The one is editorial opinions, second one style, the sports, and the movie reviews, right? So that means she can read in 4 factorial different orders, right? So simply evaluate 4 factorial. So 4 factorial is the correct option is 24, right? That means she can read in 24 different orders, right? Okay, the next one is Mr. Blackburn is arranging his class bookshelf. He has a novel, a grammar guide, and a binder. And how many different orders can he arrange the books? So, which is the correct option? Yes, you have 3 different options, so you can do in 3 factorial different orders, right? And 3 factorial equals 6. So the correct option is 3 times 2 is 6. The correct option is 6. The next one is a restaurant is adding five new items to its salad bar. In how many different orders could the manager decide to arrange the items in a row? So you have five new items they are going to add, right? So that means you have to evaluate 5 factorial. So 5 factorial, 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times 1. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 120. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Rafi, an employee at a video store, will be reorganizing the movies in 4 sections in the store, one section at a time. One section in how many different orders could he recognize these sections? So, which is the correct option? 4 different sections, right? So, you can do them in 4 factorial different orders, right? And 4 factorial equals. Yes, the correct option is 24. The correct option is 24 different orders, right? Ariel works at a bakery. She needs to restock the container of orange, purple, yellow, white, and lavender sprinkles. In how many different orders can she restock the containers of sprinkles? So, which is the correct option? Yes, you can do in 5 factorial different orders, right? And 5 factorial different orders are the correct option is 120, right? That means you can do in 120 different orders, right? The correct option is 120. Okay, the next one is Carmen makes a smoothie for breakfast every morning. Today she wants to use pear, kiwi, and apricot. In how many different orders can she add fruits to her blender? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is 6 different orders, right? You have total 3 options, so you can do them in 6 different orders. The correct option is 6. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is counting principle. Let's just start with the next lesson, that is counting principle. Austin is getting a band together. There are 6 possible drummers and 2 lead singers to choose from. How many different bags can Austin create, right? So you have total six drummers and two lead singers, right? So basically, you have to see what is the counting principle. So the counting principle says that you can multiply the number of choices to find the total possibilities, right? So for the drummers, you have six possibilities, and for the lead singers, you have two choices. So you can multiply them to find the total choices. You can do two times six, that is 12. That means there are 12 different. You can make 12 different bands, right? The correct option is 12. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Paco is customizing a new sailboat. There are two sizes of boats and three exterior colors to choose from. Different sailboats can Paco buy. So two sizes of box and three exterior colors, right? So according to the number of principles, you have to multiply the number of options to calculate the total outcomes, right? You have to do 2 times 3, that is 12. The correct option is, sorry, 2 times 3, that is 6. So the correct option is 6. The correct option is 6. Edgar is working at a hair salon and building a toolkit. There are six hair dryers and three straighteners to choose from. How many different kits can Edgar make that use one of each item? So which is the correct option? Yes, you have to do 6 times 3, right? According to the counting principle, you have to multiply them to calculate the total number of outcomes. You have to do 3 times 6, that is 18. The correct option is 18. The correct option is 18. The next one is Caroline is ordering a birthday cake for a friend. There are four cake flavors and five frosting flavors to choose from. How many different cakes can Caroline order? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is you have to do 5 times 4, right? And 5 times 4 is 20. So, the correct option, there are total 20 options to choose from, right? Dog is making a gift during a poetry class at school. He knows how to make two different items, and there are 10 kinds of clay with which to make it. How many different gifts can dog make? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is you can do 2 times 10, right? So that means you can do it for 20. The correct option is you can make 20 different gifts. The correct option is 20. Monica is playing a computer game that lets her customize the story. There are four different eras and two locations to choose from. How many different stories can Monica construct? So, which is the correct option is you can do the total stories she can construct is four times two, right? The correct option is eight. Kim is making a quilt. Kim is making a quilt for a friend's new baby. She knows how to sew four quilt patterns and can choose from four color scheme. How many different quilts is it possible to Kim to sew? So which is the correct option? The correct option is 4 times 4, 16 times you can do, right? The correct option is 16. Sharon is building a first aid kit. There are two kinds of bandages and eight disinfectants to choose from. How many different first aid kits can Sharon make using exactly one of each item? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, he can do 8 times 2. The correct option is 16 times, right? The correct option is 16. The correct option is 16. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is that is the last lesson from the chapter probability, right? That is combination and permutation notation. Okay, the first one is you have to do 7C2. C is for combinations, that means you need to evaluate combinations, right? So, how do we evaluate the combinations? You have to do, okay, in combinations, order does not, let's just understand the difference between the combinations and permutations, right? In combinations, order does not matter. If you have n objects and take r objects at a time, you have to do NCR in the number of combinations, right? In permutations, order does matter. If you have n objects and take out r of them in a particular order, NPR is the number of permutations, right? So you have to evaluate 7C2 for combinations. For permutations, you have to evaluate 7P2, right? So you have 22 combinations and 42 permutations, right? The permutations, here is the formula you can use for the combinations, that is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, right? N is 7 and r is 2. You have to evaluate 7 factorial divided by 2 factorial and 7 minus 2 factorial, right? That is 21. 7C2 equals 21, right? You have to evaluate. That is 7C2. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Okay, the next one is 4P2. You have to evaluate permutations, right? So you can evaluate the permutations using the formula NPR, that is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, right? That is the formula you have to use for the to evaluate the permutations. That is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Right? That is NPR. So that you have to evaluate 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 2 factorial. So you have to do 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 2 times 1. So 2 times 1, 2 times 1 cancel out, and 4 times 3 equals 12. So that means 4P2 equals 12, right? The correct option is 12. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, the next one is 5C2. You have to evaluate the combinations. So when you have to evaluate the combinations, you always use the formula, that is NCR, that equals n factorial divided by r factorial and n minus r factorial. You have to evaluate 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial and 5 minus 2 factorial. That is 5 times 4 times 3 factorial. Here is 5 factorial, sorry, 2 factorial and 3 factorial. 3 factorial, 3 factorial cancel out. 5 times 4 is 20 and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So the correct option is 10. The correct option is 10. Got it? Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 3P2. So how to evaluate 3P2? You have to evaluate permutations, right? N factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So the correct option is The correct option is six. Option number one is the correct option. The next one is 7C2. You have to evaluate the combination. So, which is the correct option? Yes, 21. It is the correct option is option number two. Six C2, which is the correct option? The correct option is 15. Option number one is the correct option. The next one is 4P3. The correct option is 24, right? Option number two is the correct option. The next one is 4P2. So, which is the correct option? 12. It is option number one is the correct option. Three C2, which is the correct option? That is 6. The correct option is 6. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next. We have done with the lesson and also we have done with the chapter, right? So we were working on grade 7 math. The chapter we were working on is probability. The lessons we have covered today are factorials, permutations, counting principle, and combinations and permutations notation, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So you have to complete all the practice questions. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So if you have any question, you can please ask. I am here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.